Hello, viewers of UKSM. This is UKSM Winter. We're about pretty much exactly halfway through the day now. So, I think I'll take this point in time to remind you why we're doing all of this. You've just been watching a bunch of videos from Special Effect themselves, and that should kind of explain exactly why we chose them to be the charity that we are supporting for this event. They're honestly absolutely brilliant, helping disabled people play video games where they usually wouldn't be able to play them at all. Depending on the disability, it can be incredibly difficult to do things like grip a controller or use your thumbs to turn on the joysticks. So Special Effect create custom solutions for a bunch of different disabilities individually for the person so that they can play video games the way they want to play them. It's expensive work though, so if you can donate anything over the course of the rest of this day, then !donate in the chat is your friend. Please use it because every little helps. With all of that said, we should probably move on to the next run of the day. Next up is going to be Ozmourn playing Lightmatter in the any percent NMG category. Ozmourn, whenever you're ready, you can gladly take over. And just remember
All right, thank you so much, Matt.
To begin the timer.
That was a wonderful intro. And hello, everyone. I'm Ozmourn. All right, thank you so much, Matt. Today we're going to be playing Lightmatter, 80% no major glitches. And hello, everyone. I'm Ozmourn. Today we're going to be playing Lightmatter, 80% no major glitches. That's what the NMG stands for, as is usual. But this was the first game that really got me to fall in love with speedrunning. It wasn't my first strict speed game, but it was the first speed game that helped me take speedrunning a bit more seriously and help grind for bigger times. It made me fall in love with not only this genre of games like first-person puzzle platformers, but just speedrunning as a whole. And with that, I am so excited to be showing it off here. I always love showing it off in marathons. It kind of brings me back and reminds me why I speedrun in the first place. So with that, you might notice that we have speedrun stats on in the top right corner. The reason we have that is because in the case of IPB, that is required in order to verify in-game time. However, we do have another trick that we're going to be doing with developer commentary that I'll explain later when we have that turned on. But with that, we're just going to go straight into the action. Timing will begin when I hit level 1. And with that, I'll give a countdown. So 3, 2, 1, go. All right. And we are off. So the entire premise behind Lightmatter is that the floor is lava except with shadows. Any shadow that you step in will kill you, with the exception of a few, death planes that should be there but aren't, that we are going to abuse in this category. Some minor abuses and glitches like that we've decided to allow. But for the most part, all of the shadows in this game will kill you. However, in this first section, the first 2 levels of this game, there is no way to die. First off, because there's not really any shadows for you to step in, and second off, the shadows that there are there, they don't have any death plane programmed into them because the developers didn't want anyone to be able to die in this first in these first 2 levels. It's kind of like a tutorial section that basically help teach you movement and basic mechanics. But for the most part, you might already be noticing that I am jumping upstairs, and with that, we are able to save a bit of time, because when you move upstairs in this game, your movement speed decreases ever so slightly, and when you grind down the handrail upstairs, your movement increases, and stuff like that adds up throughout the run. And so we're going to be seeing me do that a lot in this game. That's the end of level 1. Level 2, we get introduced to our main antagonist, Virgil. He is the CEO of Lightmatter Technologies, and he's kind of trying to convince us that what he's doing is right, when in reality he is at fault for a lot of the terror that we see here. We kind of waked up in this laboratory with no recollection of who we are. We don't know who we are, and all we know is that there was this explosion, and or an explosion-like event that caused all the shadows in the surrounding areas to eat up organic material, and with that, a lot of people have died. And so Virgil is trying to have that rich billionaire mindset of trying to justify his actions for the greater good, when in reality it cost a lot of lives. But in this first level, we just kind of have to wait for a bit of cutscenes to be playing out and try and make sure that that we're cutting as many tight corners as we can. Surprisingly enough, there is still some movement tech that we do in these first two levels, even though there's not really any puzzle solving, no real major tricks that we have. But it's still very nice movement-wise, which is another thing that attracted me a lot to this game. Just the movement in general, I feel like it's something that helped me fall in love with speedrunning this game. But, you know, with that, we are at the end of the run. Yeah, this is it. GG's. That's all there is. We're just going to ride up this elevator, and we're going to go to safety, and the game will end there. Roll credits. There is no way that this elevator is going to crash, and we have, 40 minutes left of the game. That's not going to happen under any circumstances whatsoever. But yeah, thank you so much to UKSM for having me. It was nice to show off this game. But yeah, I'm Ozmourn. You can just ignore the death counter. It's fine. Wait, what's happening? What? What happened? Why is... This happens every time. Like, I think it's gonna... Like, one of these days, it's gotta work, right? Going up to the elevator, like, it's gotta work. But anyway. I guess we actually have to play the rest of the game now. So, it's whatever. Lightmatter. Title card. Anyway. This is the first level that we can die in. Every shadow from here on out will kill you, with specific exceptions that I'll point out once we get there. But we're just going to spam spacebar and trying to go here. And what we're going to be doing is being introduced to our first level with shadows. And right here, as we can see, we're going to walk up to this. And the lights will turn off. And we got to wait for this light to show up. We kind of have a little count in our head as when we should jump. And yeah, that is the basic premise of the game. Just try not to step in the shadows. Level 4 has the first major skip that we have in this level. Essentially what we're going to be doing is that we're going to bring this top bridge over, and we're going to press it so that we're going to press it 3 times so that when you like push it back to where it's supposed to be, it kind of has a bit of delay when you push it towards this direction. Originally what you're supposed to do is kind of move the bottom bridge and then move the top bridge and then move the bottom bridge in order to maneuver your way around without being covered by shadows. But if you're quick enough, you can just move the top bridge back and forth and get to the other side before it covers the bottom bridge in shadows. Level 5, we just did that skip right there. There is no puzzle here. Legitimately, I have no idea what the intended solution of that puzzle is supposed to be. I haven't done it in about a year. Level 6 is a cycle-based level. It's very easy to get the fast cycle, but it's also the first level where we get introduced to lamps. Lamps are heavy and clunky, as Virgil said right there, and that kind of translates to gameplay because you cannot jump with a lamp, and your movement speed is actually decreased if you have a lamp in your hand. So we want to avoid grabbing objects as much as we can in this game, in order to have those little time saves add up. Right here in level 7. We have an example of another minor glitch that we've allowed in this category, allowing us to do a pretty good skip. It's called lamp jump. What we're going to be doing is we're going to take the lamp at the end of this hallway. Any object outlined in yellow we can pick up. We're going to pick up this lamp. We're going to put it against this vent. And if you put a lamp against like a slanted... oh, dang. I messed that up. If you put a lamp against like a slanted surface like that, for whatever reason, when you jump on lamp, the physics of the object, of your character as well, and the physics of the object kind of get all out of whack, and you are able to get like a super jump just like that. And that allows us to jump over that little container and avoid a bit of lamp placements and movement that we don't have to do in this category. Right here is the core to my left. As we're going into this next area, we're going to be coming back to this area in the game. It's kind of like the centerpiece of Lightmatter technologies and very important to the plot, which I can explain a bit later. As for level 8 itself, there's not any skips that we do in this level, but it is a good example, or the first good example of how satisfying the movement can be when you get good at it. It's something that I highly recommend for beginners in this game. It's something that attracted me, as I mentioned before. I feel like this is a very beginner-friendly speedrun. Obviously, as with every speedrun, it does get harder and a bit trickier as you grind down harder times and try to grind down trying to grind down to like world record times or like top level competitive times. But we do enjoy a lot of new runners, and I think this is a perfect beginner speedrun. And it was the perfect beginner speedrun for me and allowed me to get introduced to a lot of other games as well. In level 9, we have another cycle. We're just trying to shine this lamp over here and then bring this lamp and shine it this way, and hopefully we can get to the other end before this little contraption closes us in and kills us. And with that, we are able to skip half of a cycle for that contraption opening and closing. I forgot what it's called, to be honest. Right here, level 10, we get introduced to the idea that you can actually leave lamps in the dark that you're going to be using later. The idea that the shadows eat up anything that's in it only applies to organic materials like human beings. That does not it does not apply to lamps. So we can actually leave this lamp in the dark and use this light that we've added here for later use. Right here, I'm going to shut up for a bit because we actually see a bit of a reference to another game you might recognize in the dialogue. Not like those monsters at Aperture Science. Yes, with the blessing of Valve, there's actually a good amount of Portal references in this game that I'm going to mention as we go along. It's very nice to have that like connection between the two games. With that, we just need to wait here for about a minute for that door to open up. While I'm in this area, I actually do like to jump into this area. Like, there's a little bit of light on that object right there. You're not supposed to go here, but you can just jump on that object and come over here to this area where Virgil supposedly says the outside world is. We're supposed to go through here. I do usually make a joke about how we're going to end the game, but I was busy talking about some other stuff, so it's whatever. But you do have to die to come back to this other side, but if you die during a cutscene, it literally does not matter because the cutscene will still keep going even if you're like dying. There's no way you can slow down the cutscene whatsoever. So I can die like 10 times right here and it just won't matter at all. All right. Now that he's done talking to James, we can go to level 11. Level 11 is another cycle-based level. There's not really any good way of speeding up the cycles, but I will admit that there was a small phase in my speedrunning where for some reason I would mess up the cycles in this all the time and would get eaten by shadows just by jumping a bit too early or a bit too late. But luckily, I don't really suffer with that problem anymore. Like right here, you feel like there should be a way to get a faster cycle here, but unfortunately there is not. If anyone wants to play this game and find out, then try it. Alright. Wonderful. Here we go. And what we see here is we're going to place this lamp over here on this moving platform. We're going to use the small amount of shadow here to just jump over. And as we enter level 12, we're going to be introduced to another skip right here, and we're going to restart level and be brought back to another point in the level past this little elevator sequence, and we can skip. I have no idea how long that cutscene is in the elevator, but we skip that entire elevator sequence. The reason that skip works is because each level has an intended start and stop point. Bring that back. Each level has an intended start and stop point, and the intended start point of that level is past the little elevator sequence that we skipped. Right here, what I just did was a rail grind across that rail right there with the platform. You have to shine your light onto the rail because otherwise you'll die due to the shadow. And rail grinding is much more difficult than it looks because the rail grind is much more difficult than it looks because whenever you rail grind on an object, you are constantly being pushed off one way or the other by the game. Like, it's not a flat surface, and so you have to constantly strafe and balance yourself on the platform in order to avoid falling off. It's a lot harder than it looks. A lot of us make it look easy just because we've been practicing this for a long time, but starting out, it's a pretty difficult trick. Everyone say hi to Ellen. hello, Ellen. We're just going to, she's kind of like the voice of reason and trying to unveil what Lightmatter Technologies has been up to in these in the shadows, essentially. Haha, get it? Because shadows kill you, blah, blah, blah. I'm funny. Laugh at the jokes. But anyway, we get introduced to Ellen in this little area right here. Every time that we get into these this like red tinted area, we're gonna be seeing some of Ellen's dialogue. I didn't really have to do that, but right here in level 14, we get introduced to another skip right here. If we go on to this part right here and bring this lamp over here, and you just line yourself up to the very edge of this platform, you are able to move with the platform, and so you can avoid some cycles of having to push the button and actually solving the problem, actually solving the puzzle. And that's a lot harder than it looks, primarily because you need to line yourself up with a very specific point in the very specific point on the fan, in order so that when you press the button you can move with the fan. Otherwise you'll be pushed off to the stable platform. But as you can see, that is level 14. We're going to go back here to level 15. There is a skip in this level, but we haven't decided whether or not it's going to be allowed in No Major Glitches. So just for the sake of safety, I'm going to do it the intended way. Essentially, there's a little bit of level geometry like right there where I just pointed, that you can just clip through. And like there's no collision there. We haven't really decided if it's a minor glitch or not, or if it's allowed in this category. So I'm just gonna, for the sake of safety, I am just going to do it the normal way. Level 16 is another example of really satisfying movement. We're gonna shine this sensor up here, jump down, and we're gonna walk backwards with this lamp as we shine it on the sensor. And we're gonna make use of the fact that when you grab a lamp, it kind of just snaps forward. And we're going to use that mechanic in order to jump onto the light that the lamp produces before the door closes and kills us. Luckily, when you pick up a lamp in this game, there's no turning at all. You can just immediately grab it like this, and it just snaps in front of you.
Let me know when you've got a moment for a donation.
Ooh, give me like 3 minutes. Yeah, I'll have a moment for a donation, no worries. But right here, but we're about to get into a few more skips in these next levels, but it shouldn't be long. Right there in that level, we kind of made use of the fact that we use the entire cone of light in order to light up both sides of the hallway. In 18 and 19, we use the same skip, but in two different ways. Essentially, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be bringing this lamp over here into this next area, and we're going to take this lamp and we're going to shine it on this hallway. We're going to line it up on these power outlets and shine it this direction, and with that we are able to light up the small little portions of these desks, so much so that there's not enough shadow there for us to die. And we're going to do the exact same thing that we just did right here. We're going to shine this lamp on these pipes, and with just enough light we're able to walk across them, but we do have to do two very difficult jumps, and luckily I was able to do it first try. A lot of people suffer with that skip the first time, just because the jumps required to perform those skips are very precise. Right here we kind of make, wait a minute, what? Why isn't that? Oh wait, no, wait, no, that should be brought up. I think I messed up this lamp placement right here. Yes, I did. There we go. Wonderful. A bit of a time loss, but that's fine. So we're going to be making use of the fact that you don't actually have to be on the same level as a lamp in order to bring it up. In order to pick it up, all you have to do is just be within grabbing distance of it. And so what we did right there is we went on a platform that was higher than the lamp itself, and we grabbed it. And we grabbed it in order to avoid avoiding a lot of back and forth between lamps in order to raise and not raise that platform. All right. This is also the first level that's introducing strafing with lamps. A lot of the people, when playtesting this game, didn't realize you had to strafe with lamps and keep the lamp shining on a sensor in order to use it, and this level uses that mechanic twice. And with that, level 20 is complete. Level 21 is just a transitional level, so if you want to say, if the host needs a donation, you can say it right now.
Lars from Lightmatter Industries says, "Good luck with your run, Ozmourn. You're the quickest health and safety inspector I know."
Oh, thank you so much, Lars. A wonderful member of the Light Matter community. Let's see here. All right. Level 21 is just a transition level. We will be coming back to the small little area in level 23 in order to perform a different skip with the developer commentary like I mentioned before. But for now, we're going to be doing level 22. It is the second largest level. I like to think of it as like just the largest puzzle because the largest level is the last, is the very last level, and there's not really a lot of puzzle solving. It's more platforming. But with that, this is one of the levels that the developers made with Legos, and with that, we are able to get a better top-down perspective of what they wanted the level to be like. And with that, there's two main floors. The bottom floor was just two lamps going on two different platforms up and down, or side to side. And this lamp, in this area, there's four platforms that all go into complete rotation. And you have to shine the lamps, shine the same two lamps, just in different orientations in order to solve all the puzzles. But we know what to do, so it shouldn't be taking too long. When I first got into this level myself, casually, it took me about an hour, and just being able to solve it within a minute is very satisfying. So we're going to take this lamp right here, we're going to shine it across, and oop, that's a very risky way to put that lamp. So we're just going to go to this elevator, and we're going to go to safety, as Virgil says. See you on the other side, Virgil. So this elevator is going to bring us to safety. There's no way that it's going to crash. We totally don't have 25 minutes left of the run. It's fine. Except, of course, it crashes because, you know, the game has to game. Plot has to plot. I need some coffee. Why is there so much coffee in this room? I never understood that. So yeah, with that, there's a small little cutscene that we have here with the elevator crashing. There's like 4 different points in this game where the game is just like, you're gonna go to safety, and then you don't. Alright, wonderful. Oh, let's see here. Yes. Everyone say hi to Ellen again. Oh, there we go. Hi, Ellen. She just stuck into Arthur's office. So what she's kind of doing right now is trying to unveil Arthur's plans, who was Virgil's partner, and realizing that Arthur's trying to sabotage Lightmatter and put an end to what Virgil is doing, because Virgil and Arthur had very two different plans with what Lightmatter Industries is supposed to be doing. But with that, we are going back to the bottom floor, level 22, and kind of solving it backwards in order to reach the end of this area and go back to that main hub area that we were at in level 21. But this time it's going to be level 23. And what we're going to be doing is, as we enter level 23, I'm actually going to escape. We're going to turn on developer commentary. And the reason that I turn on developer commentary is because there is supposed to be dialogue here said by Virgil. And this door that I'm going into right now, it will not open until Virgil stops talking. However, since the developer commentary came out, the devs realized, oh wait, Virgil can never stop talking if the developer commentary is on because his voice line never plays. And so to fix that problem, they kind of just made the door open immediately if the developer commentary is being played. And so that is a free 20-second skip. Thank you so much, developers, for doing that. With that, we are going to be introduced to a new mechanic here in level 24. We're about halfway through the run, and we're going to be introduced to a wonderful new mechanic, and that is called orbs, or photon crystals, as the proper name is. A beam of light so magnificent, as Virgil describes it. Essentially, what these do is that they produce a constant stream of light between you and a mother source. As long as you are within range or within sight of a mother source, you will always have light beneath you, and you always have a line of light between the mother source and you. And you can also use that to triangulate some light sources like this. Any orb that is connected to a mother source can be connected to another orb, as long as one of the orbs is connected to a mother source, and can produce an endless line of light. So, yeah. we're going to be using that. For the most part, the majority of the puzzles don't use more than 2 orbs at a time, along with the mother source, but we're going to see certain exceptions to that. Right here, we're going to make use of the fact that we were really pushing some of the orbs to the limit. As you can see, when the line of light turns red like that, it means that the orb is about to lose sight of the mother source, and that it will break, and that you will immediately die if the line of sight does break. As you can see here, we are really pushing the limits as to how far these lines of sight will go. And with that, we are going to be able to skip a few lamp placements. Let's skip some puzzle solving. Right here, we're going to do another rail grind. And if you do a rail grind after falling off of a moving platform, you actually, if done right, you can actually maintain some of the momentum that you got from the moving platform and keep that in your rail grind. We're going to see a better example of that in, I believe, level 33. Level 26, however, has another interesting skip. Again, pushing the limits of how far we can push these orbs and how far we can push the lines of light that the orbs produce. First off, we're going to jump over to this end, bring this orb over here onto this platform, and bring it across this platform right here. We're going to put it in a very specific spot, just this corner right here. I like to line it up like this. And we're going to bring this orb all the way to the other side. So that's... Oh, I almost died there. Oh my goodness. I almost fell off. We're going to bring that orb over to... so that it's inside of the mother source. And we're going to bring the mother source over to this side. And we're going to really push the limits of this line of light right here. You see, it's incredibly red. The line is incredibly thin. So if we had gone any further, we would be at huge risk of just breaking the line of sight between the orbs. Alright, as we can see here, level 23, it's kind of like, not an auto-scroller, but there's really no way to speed it up. We're just going in circles. You need to make sure that you are always within line of sight of at least one light source that is connected to the mother source. You need to make sure with this puzzle that you are not leaving the orbs connected to only one source at a time when you are bringing them around. Otherwise, when you go around, you're gonna have the mother sources break. With that, we're just going to kind of go in a bit of a circle here. If it looks like in some cases I'm doing a lot of back and forth or going in circles, it's because I know what I'm doing. So I know how to solve these puzzles pretty quickly. And I can promise you it's a lot more confusing in casual gameplay. Just try the game for yourself. With that, we are going to perform another skip here in level 28. First off, we're going to bring this orb over to this platform, move this platform across, and have it connect to this orb right here. And we're going to bring this orb over to the first room, and we're going to place it on the very edge of this platform right here, like the very, very corner. And with that, we are going to place this one right here. It doesn't really matter where. And bring the platform over, bring this one up on the platform, bring that over. And we're going to really stretch limits of this beam of light and use that to jump over there and jump over to that little tiny sliver of light at the end of the level. And if you had a very keen ear, you can also hear Still Alive playing on a little radio, Still Alive from Portal, playing on a little radio in that room. Every time I do this run, I kind of hear it in my left earphone. But level 29, there's not really a lot to say about level 29 because there's really no way to speed it up. No speedrunner likes this level just because of how boring it is, because there's just no way to speed it up. The only thing I can really say about it is that in this level, you kind of want to make sure that you are not putting your lamps too close, because we have had reports of a lot of players being soft locked because they put the lamps too close to each other, and with that, they for whatever reason just couldn't pick them back up. So even when you're fast, you still want to be careful. Otherwise, if the host would like to say anything, now is a good time.
Well, there haven't been any more donations just yet, but I would like to remind everyone that we are trying to raise money for the fantastic charity Special Effect. So if you do want to donate, all you need to do is !donate in the chat. of all of the charities out there, Special Effects are definitely one of the ones that deserve your time and your money. They help disabled people play video games no matter the disability that they have. It's a truly wonderful cause. So if you do want to donate, like I said, all you need to do is !donate in the chat, click the link and follow the instructions, and you'll be able to donate. Every little helps.
Wonderful. And wow, you're really good at timing when it ends the spiels, because we're going straight into another level when I was about to start talking. Wonderful. So so right here in level 30, right here what we're going to do is kind of like intended movement, but the reason that I want to talk about it is because this is one level that is very easy to just let your brain go on autopilot. And that is something that no one wants, because the pattern here is bring this over 2 times, and then press the button 3 times in order to bring the lamp towards you. Take the lamp off, bring it again. Oh, press the button again, put the lamp on, and then press the button 2 more times. And with all of the button pressing and lamp placements, you have no idea how many times I have literally just let my brain go on autopilot while I'm spamming the click button in order to move the platforms and press the button. And I've pressed the button too many times and I have to wait for a whole other cycle of pressing buttons. And it's just a lot of unnecessary time loss, you know? But level 30 is done with. Level 31 is another transitional level. A bit of story sprinkled in here. We do have a little bit inside of Virgil and James. But with that, we're just going to go over here in this room. We're going to press this button. And, you know, as Virgil says, we are going to just go to safety. This bridge is going to come over to this side. And we're just going to, you see that little open door right over there? We're just going to go straight through it. And we're just going to go straight to safety, and that's going to be the end of the game. Yeah, GG's. There's no way that this is going to go wrong in any way, shape, or form. We're just going to gladly go through here. Except not, because why would we? Why would we? Fun fact, after that fall, your movement speed actually decreases, kind of like explaining to the player, hey, I'm injured, therefore I am moving slower. But, you know, we're just going to walk it off as soon as we get to level 32, because your movement speed back up. You know, broken bones, who cares? Hey, Ellen. Ellen's here again. So what we're going to be doing right here is we're going to be pushing again the limits of how far we can bring some of these orbs. And believe it or not, I'm actually going to play this safe, because there's a level 32 skip is very, very precise with some of these orb placements. And what we're going to be doing here is... come on. There we go. Wonderful. And I'm going to be moving this last orb a bit more to the center of this little hallway right here, in order to make sure that I don't die from moving the orb all the way to the end of the hallway. There is a way to play that a bit more risky. It takes a bit more time, but like probably less than 2 seconds. I really wouldn't go for it unless you really want to be risky. Ooh, didn't really get the fast railgun, but it was still faster than simply riding the platform over. But what we're going to be seeing here, I'm going to move this platform over there so we can light up that sensor. And yeah, that always takes longer than I think it should. But we're going to walk up this platform right here. And level 34 itself is kind of like a transition level. There's a lot of good story here. I wish I could remind you of what the story is, but to be honest, I've forgotten. But meanwhile, we are going to try and overload the core in order to try and find a solution as to how to fix these shadows right here. We're going to go into Virgil's office. No, Arthur's office. Sorry. Nice. Yes, Zephyr in chat. Yeah, I keep forgetting, because David Bateson, I believe, is the voice actor, and he has been in Hitman. It was like a specific game that I remembered him being in, but I just couldn't figure out what it is. Oh, photosensitivity warning, the entire screen is going to be white right here, so like look away if you need to for a few minutes. I'll let you know when it's going back. But as we go back to the regular level, we come to realize that shadows aren't scary at all. You can step in these shadows right here. Overloading the core actually allowed us to fix the anomalies in a specific range. So as we can see here, we are going to just go through this little area, and the only shadows that actually do kill you are these tar-like shadows, like the shiny shadows, I like to say. They do shimmer a lot in the light. But with that, we're going to go to level 35. Level 35 is another level that we're just going to kind of do intended movement but fast. But there is another reference to Portal that I will point out in like 10 seconds. As we bring this through. There we go. We're going to take this here. And if you look to my left as I exit this room, you might have seen a turret and a weighted storage cube in the corner of that room. Watch the VOD back. You can definitely catch it. But yeah, that's the last major reference to Portal that we're going to be seeing. It's very nice to see all the little references that we have here. Right here, we're going to do some back and forth when it comes to the lamps. And we're going to bring this orb all the way over here. Wonderful. Level 36, there is a specific skip that we could do in level 36, but it's incredibly inconsistent, and I have a feeling that I'm kind of on good pace, so I don't want to screw that up right now. This kind of feels like a good run. Not gonna lie. Don't want to make a fool of myself. But I will kind of explain what level 36 is as we kind of just do one of the various ways of solving this puzzle. What it is essentially bringing that platform where the mother switch is on that runs back and forth. We are essentially going to what level 36 is kind of bringing the lamp onto this platform and rail grinding across there. But the reason that it's so difficult is because there's really no consistent way, because you can't jump with an object and there's a little lip. There's this little platform that you have to get onto. That provides like a little lip or like a little bump that you have to get up to. And since you can't jump, it's very hard to actually get onto that platform because you have to be facing a very specific orientation in order to slide up and onto the platform itself. But there's really no way that we found that's actually consistent with it. So if you are able to find a consistent way of doing that, it's going to be great. There's only 5 people that I believe have actually performed it. I once performed it like first try in a marathon one time, just because it was like an incentive that my commentator wanted me to do. But other than that, I've never really gotten it like done. I've never really gotten it down consistently. Only within practice runs, but never like live. Right here, level 37 piano keys is a level that we want to do a specific skip. Right there, when I put the orb down next to the sensor, I wanted to make sure that the line of light was pink, not white, not red, but pink. We're going to shine this lamp over here, and we're going to bring this lamp and we're going to place it, we're going to run off the edge of this little platform right here in order so that the beam of light is no longer shining on the sensor. That is one way of solving it. And that ensures that the bridge will stay underneath us and will not, drop us into the shadows. But that is level 37. Now, level 38 is the last. Excuse me. Game. Oh, thank you. What was going on there? Okay, for whatever reason, the trigger to start level 38 wasn't playing. And I had to like walk back and forth in order to have it trigger. I was just like, what is happening? Why isn't level 38 loading? But a little bit of time loss, but it's all right. Still loading. Game. Oh dear. My game has. Oh wait. Okay, I thought the game crashed there for a minute. It didn't. Okay, I thought the game was gonna crash. Luckily, it hasn't. That's great. RTA, that loses time, but IGT, it doesn't matter. IGT is fine. I thought the game was going to crash. It didn't. Thank goodness. Yeah, for some reason, the game admittedly is buggy at times, but it saved itself. It saved itself. Thank goodness. But right here, there's just a 2-minute cutscene. Right now, I can kind of explain how I got into this game when I saw what the current third place holder, Bobby Berm, run this at AGDQ 2021. I stayed up to watch Pikmin 2, and right after that, Lightmatter was on, and I kind of just fell in love with it immediately and started speedrunning it within like 3 days of watching that run. And it was absolutely amazing, both casually and as a speedrun. I highly recommend this game. What I could do right here is kind of like attempt to do a skip that probably won't happen. It's just that there is one death plane in this entire room, and it's on top of that camera right there. And if you are incredibly precise, and I mean like incredibly precise, like no one has gotten this in modern patch before, kind of precise, you are able to like get on top of that death plane and just kill yourself, and that will skip this cutscene right here. But it's incredibly hard to do. But meanwhile, we still have like 40 seconds of waiting. Does the host want to say anything while we're waiting here?
I'd just like to remind everyone once again that we are trying to raise money for the fantastic charity Special Effect. So if you do have any amount of money that you can donate, please do !donate in the chat, because they really are a brilliant, absolutely fantastic charity that really do deserve all of the support that they can possibly get. So one last time, !donate in the chat.
All right, dang, you were just perfect at ending it at the perfect times. Like I just pull the lever and we're just going straight into the level. That's great. God, you just perfectly time the blurs. It's great. But now level 10, we are going to go level 38. We are going to go into, and it's around a 7-minute escape sequence, and so we are going to just try and get as many early cycles as we can. A lot of this, wow, okay, first death of the whole run. Could you believe it? We're trying to get as many early cycles as we can. I feel like I kind of messed up that early cycle right there. Let's see if we can get it with this one. Yeah, this isn't really the early cycle, but it's like kind of similar to what the early cycle would be. But this is the first level in the game, and the only level in the game that does not load all at once. It loads in chunks. And with that, if you miss an early cycle, it does not mean that you're gonna miss the next one. But if you get an early cycle, it also doesn't necessarily mean you're gonna get the next one. And so we want to try and get as many as we can. I'll explain how the different chunks load in as we progress throughout the level. Let's see if we can get the early lift cycle here, and just there we go. Early lift cycle, perfect. That's what the basic movement of that little chunk is for, just trying to get the early lift cycle as quickly as we can. Another chunk right here that's just loaded in. This platform is going to come down here. We're going to come up here, and we're going to try and get an early cycle right here. Wonderful. Great. That's great. Alright, and with that, we can get an early cycle with there. I wonder whose glasses these are, really. I always ask that whenever I come here. But we're just going to come up here. And boom. Alright, wonderful early cycle there. Huge photosensitivity warning. Whenever I pull one of these levers, the screen will kind of light up as we overload the core. So whenever that happens, I will be giving another photosensitivity warning, and I'll be explaining when it's okay to look back. But there's just going to be flashes of bright light when that happens. This one won't be that bad because we're looking away from the light, but it's still important to mention. All right, jumping up these stairs. I believe we did. Ooh, we didn't get the fast cycle for this area, but that's perfectly fine. All right. At this point, Virgil is actively trying to kill us, but fails terribly because he's just trying to like activate everything and engulf us in shadows. But we're too quick for him, so there is absolutely no way that we can die in certain cases. We're too quick for him in certain cases. Sometimes you still screw up. As you can see there, I kind of tried to avoid those little white lines on the ledges in order to avoid the ledge grab animations because ledge grab animations are slow. Here we go, wonderful. We didn't mess up the cycle here. And nice, we got the lift cycle with this one. And this next area has a little skip that our glitch hunter Ralcor has found. Shoutouts to Ralcor. He has found so much. He's like our only glitch hunter, and he's just found so much for this game, and he continues to still find stuff. It's insane how much time he puts into it. And right here, we're just going. What the skip is we're going to make use of the fact that for whatever reason, these center pipes right here just do not have a death plane, and with that, we can. I messed up the first time. Let's see if we can get it here. There we go. They do not have a death plane, so you can kind of jump onto them, and you can jump onto them and just jump to the end of that room. We did mess up the first time, but you can just try it again. No big deal. If you die in this level, especially starting out, it's not too harsh of a time loss because this level has like quick respawn, so you like respawn faster when you die. Photosensitivity warning, there's a huge flash of white light right here. And the white light will kind of persist, so I will let you know when it's safe to look back. Right here is going to be the worst attempt at killing someone in history. Like, that was supposed to be an attempt at killing us and just didn't work out at all. Not good timing, not good aim on Virgil's part, but it's whatever. Alright. Come on, let's go. So, some ledge grabs. Unfortunately, we can't really avoid these ones. We're just going to cut some corners here. And we're going to do another small skip in this room. Only saving around like 2 or 3 seconds. We're going to ledge grab onto this platform right here. Skipping some platforming on those areas down below. Alright, and this next area is just a bunch of fast cycles when it comes to these lifts that we're going to try and get. Just like this one, jumping before that lift comes down and hits you in the head. We're going to come here. And there was a fast cycle here that we used to do. It was very risky, but we have proven that is actually not a fast cycle. It is proof that there is that you need that playing this safe will not lose you any time. All right, all you have to do is come over here, because either way you're going to be missing one lift cycle, and so there's just no purpose in trying to be fast. Unless you want like swag, because swag is always an acceptable option. All right, and with that, we're going to do this last fast cycle right here. There we go. And we're going to just come onto this lift and run over to safety. We're just going to ride to safety. But yeah, that is essentially the end of the run, the actual end of the run. In this last area, Virgil is calling upon his assistant, James, in order to foil our plan. It's that mountain of a man that we see in that window right over there. And with that, we are going to, he's just going to kill us. There's nothing bad that can happen here, But, oh wait, James now has a mind of his own. He's not working for Virgil anymore. He saves us. We love to see it. And with that, we're just going to fall down here. And when I hit that lever at the end of this hallway, that is time. Thank you so much to UKSM for letting me show off this game. I'm not done. I do have one more run after this with Superliminal, but thank you so much for letting me show off Lightmatter any %, no major glitches. It's a wonderful category. I highly recommend it. And 3, 2, 1, time. But yeah, that is the run. My final time was like a 45:36 IGT. That is a very respectable run. What was my RTA, if you don't mind me asking, even with all of those technical issues?
On ours, we've got 46.24, but that might be a little bit off due to things like lag.
Oh yeah, that's perfectly fine. No worries. I think that's a very respectable RTA time. But that has been Lightmatter 90% no major glitches. Thank you so much to UKSM for having me. If you are interested in this game, you can join the Discord. If you there is a demo, I highly recommend trying it out. And if you want to download this game yourself, you can go to and join the speedrunning community. We actually share a Discord with we are actually in the developer Discord, and so we share a lot of the community with people who run this game casually and the developers themselves. Sometimes we like to come in and see what we're doing. It's absolutely amazing. I love the environment there, and you can actually join the Discord from the game itself. If you go to the main menu, you can actually see a little Discord icon. You can come and join the Discord with. But yeah, we're a small speedrunning community, and if you are interested in running it, we are more than happy to have you because we always love you runners to come in. But yeah, my name is Ozmourn, and stick around. We will be back with Superliminal Glitchless, another one of my absolutely fabulous speed games. But yeah, this has been Lightmatter. Thank you so much.
As Ozmourn just said, we will be back very shortly with Superliminal Glitchless. That will be happening at 6:35, which is in about 12 minutes. Over the course of the next 12 minutes, I will be showing you a bunch of videos from Special Effect to try and entice you to donate by showing you exactly what they do with disabled people and how they increase their ability to play video games. So please do stick around and watch that over the next 10 minutes. We'll be back very soon.